Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gaganasadarsham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. First I bow down to the Guru. And then you bow down to the Guru. Today, being Guru Purnima, I don't want you to just come and look at me and listen to me and then go back home. I want to give you something concrete so that you take it home and you practice it. Till a few years ago, English la sonna poruma. Somebody told me in the morning, Tamil la pesunga. பாருங்க எப்படிங்க இங்கே தமிழ் தெரியாதவங்க நிறைய இருக்கிறாங்க. And he's a school teacher, as if he doesn't know English. So, few years ago, I was very, very strict about giving Kriya to people. And when people came, I used to stall somehow because I wanted to know if it doesn't become one of those cheap things that people do, you know. In my case, it's easier because you don't pay anything. And when you take something that you don't pay for, people don't take it very seriously. You are accustomed to pay. If you don't pay, it's not serious. Must be something available cheap, so he's giving it away to people. That's one thing. What people don't realize is when they actually take Kriya, they pay for it with their lives. Because once you take, there is no escape, get out. Somehow or the other it will pull you back. Till you reach a stage where you're completely free. Can you hear there? So I was very, very reluctant because I was also instructed, be careful and so on. Then hundreds of people started, not openly, but crying inside the house. We didn't get Kriya, what is this? So on. Forgetting that you have to first follow some rules and regulations before you start the practice of Kriya. Then I decided that when people come for Kriya, give them the Guru Mantra. You don't know how much you think it's important, but in the whole process of Kriya, which is our parampara, the Guru Mantra is very, very important. Without the Guru Mantra, you can't step into Kriya. So, when people came for Kriya, especially for the first time, and I always explain to them, listen, Kriya is not some magic which you snap your fingers and everything is over. It's not that. You have to work hard, you have to practice, you have to do many things. I explain, but still people say Kriya. Because they think that once you take Kriya and go home, you're already in moksha. That's not true. You have to practice. And Kriya is not the only way to salvation. This also I explain to people. There are many ways to reach the highest, and Kriya is only one of the ways which is given to us. The parampara. It cannot be that there is something specially selected for a few people. It's impossible. So it's not like that. I always ask people, what Kriya did Mirabai practice? Nothing. Sheer, true, sincere devotion took her to where she had to go. That's the bhakti part. The jnana part. திருவண்ணாமலை is not very far from here. What Kriya did Ramana Maharshi practice? I'm not saying we are all Ramana Maharshis, but what Kriya did he practice? Nothing. So it's not as if you want to go forward, you have to practice Kriya. It's not like that. Please understand. Those who come and say, oh, I didn't get Kriya, I've been coming for so years, so what happens? Nothing happens. Everything is fine. Maybe you're not ready for it, maybe it's not required, leave it to me. And I am not one who converts people from this to that. So if you are already doing some devotional practice, I don't want you to shift and say, oh, I have to practice Kriya. However, Kriya is my parampara, so I would definitely defend it in the sense that it is a good practice if done with complete attention and devotion. It can certainly move you on the path. But when you take Kriya, it doesn't mean that you should not be doing anything. Like somebody said, I am practicing a particular kind of Kriya now called Anapana. So I said, so what? There's one difficulty, sir. I said, what is that? We are not allowed to go to temples. I said, do you love to go to temples? I love when I go to temples, my heart opens. Then I said, dump the Anapana. So here, when you come here, I don't say don't go here, don't go there. Of course, it's cut down visiting the temples where they sell bottled spirit, but generally, other temples, you can go to temples, you can go to churches, you can, if you are a practitioner of any religion, you can continue the practices as long as the practice does not cause injury to other living beings. And when I say living beings, please include human beings. Really. I said we are care for living beings. So what? So we kill human beings. I mean, this is not. What about human beings? Who builds goshalas? Cows or human beings? So, are human beings important? So when you say living beings, don't leave out human beings. That's what I mean. Because human beings are evolved to do certain things, so they are a very important part of evolution. So, we have no such restrictions. You may be worshipping the formless, okay. You may be worshipping forms, okay, no problem. You know, in the chapter on Bhakti Yoga, in the 12th chapter, in the Gita, Arjuna asks Krishna, who do you think is the greatest of yogis, the greatest of bhaktas? Because there are people, I hear people say that someone worships the supreme, ungraspable, immeasurable, formless, supreme reality as Brahman. Are they the greatest of rishis? Or the greatest of bhaktas? Or the greatest of teachers? Yogis? Or are the people who worship you as you are? decorating, looking after you. Who among them are the greatest of yogis? Can you tell me? Because if you say, I'll accept it. So it's very beautiful. Krishna says that's fine. There are great yogis who worship the Supreme Being as the formless, almost unreachable and so on. But it's not so easy to do that for most people, because we are all form-oriented people. To use Vedantic terminology, we're all people who are dependent on nama and rupa. All of us. How do we recognize each other? If you are formless, can I recognize you? No. I recognize you because you have a form and you have a name. So when I say Ambika, it's a name. Then that form is there in front. So I say, this is Ambika. So then nama is connected to the rupa. Or when I see somebody here, I may forget the name, but I see the rupa and say, Manish. Then as soon as I see, it clicks, oh, what is the nama? Manish. So, or Geeta. She is looking from the glass. So, we are so dependent on this name and form. Suppose we are all made, we had the same shape. How will we recognize each other? Or we have the same name. So it's so important for most human beings to have some concrete thing to give attention to. It could be a form, or it could be a symbol, it could be a sound. Something is required. Before we jump into the sea to swim, it's good to try the small ponds or swimming pools in your house, preferably with a life belt. So these are the life belts. So Krishna, I know people who say, no, but we are quite advanced. Okay, very good. I always bow down to you. So we only think of the formless, okay, fine. And what do you do when you get up in the morning? In front of your wash basin. Whose form is that? Yours. You don't have that form, you worship your own form. So we are still caught in form. Check for grey hairs to pull out. Has the eyebrows grown out of control? Any hair coming out of the nose? What do? We are so concerned. 3 more wrinkles have come today. Hair, after going, you might think that men are not vain, they are very vain. Have you seen any women carry combs in their pockets? See men? Not only that, after combing hair, one hair has... So we are so caught in form and name, and thinking of suddenly jumping into that is not easy. So therefore what I am trying to say, that if you are already there, you fine, okay. But since we are not generally, please go to temples if you feel like it. It's wonderful, enjoyable, beautiful. I love to go. And don't think that because somebody is practicing Kriya, he should go to temples. No. If you have not already been going, and if you are accustomed to going to a mosque and bowing down in front of nothingness, that's also fine with us. There is no problem here. If you don't want to call God Ishvara, you want to call God, that's no problem here. So Kriya is not meant for any small, narrow system or situation. It's meant for all, provided they want to find some way by which the energies which are generally wasted and dissipated in the human system. You know why we can't have one-pointed attention? Because our energies are wasted. There are nadis in the human system, according to yogic anatomy and physiology. And most of the time, our prana is working through these nadis. The only nadi which is neglected is the Sushumna, which is in the center. So the idea is, the practice of Kriya, whether you're a bhakta or a yogi or a jnani, the practice of yoga is meant to gather these energies, the prana, from all the nadis and bring it into one place. When it comes to one place, when I say one place, it's like one pointed, gathered together, then there is tremendous energy. When that energy happens, then you move forward. Otherwise it's lifeless. You sit for meditation, but you'd rather watch TV. Do you show the same enthusiasm as you watch your favorite program, Veerapandya Kattabomman, as you are meditating? No. So, Kriya is meant to gather these energies together, which are being dissipated. That's about it. But since it has come from a source which we called Sri Guru Babaji, a source which has been there for ages and which we believe continues to be there to guide people on the spiritual path, not only on Kriya but also all spiritual paths. I have myself been witness to somebody going to Babaji and asking him to initiate him to Kriya, when he said, there is no need for you, you are already doing something, do it. Do it with complete attention. But he said, I need guidance. He said, I'll guide you. I need blessings. He said, both hands on your head. So don't mistake. I'm also saying this because once people take Kriya, they think there's some elite. I'm different from others. Why? Don't come near me. Nothing like that. What you have to examine is how the mind has developed. Have we become kinder? Have we become tranquil? The test for a yogi is Sthita Prajna. Test for a yogi is, can the mind remain tranquil, calm and peaceful even in the midst of different circumstances? Are you suddenly feel glorified when somebody praises you? Will you feel depressed if somebody says you're a bloody fool? In both circumstances, Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni is from the Gita. The Mauni or the yogi doesn't care for Ninda or Stuti, it's the same thing. What does it matter? Because what matters is your inner essence, which is a part of the divine and which is so for everyone. So if somebody insults you, think that it's God in that human form pointing something out to you and saying, watch out, this is where you go wrong. He may not realize it, but so that is Kriya. And there are several Kriyas. In the Kriya Yoga of Sri Guru Babaji itself, there are 108 Kriyas, of which poor Shyamacharan Lahiri Mahashaya was given 3. And we are also continuing with that much only. It's enough. No need to go into all the 108 Kriyas. So, The major thing is that if you take Kriya, or you are on this path of devotion, or if you don't want to take Kriya, doesn't matter. Because why I am saying this is after hearing so much demoralizing talk about somebody may not want. That's also fine. Great, I am happy. One thing is important, that you need to have love and devotion to the source from which it came. Without love and devotion, any Kriya becomes a mechanical practice. Do you think God is such an idiot that somebody is a good person and is not doing anything? Somebody is a terrible fellow, but every morning he sits and says, does it work? Is God such an idiot that so this fellow breathes up and down fast, so I will give him some moksha. The other guy works the whole day in the paddy field. He comes home and looks after his family and maybe the neighbor also. He is not allowed. This is not possible. It rebels against this complete system of divine justice. I am not saying you should not breathe in and out. If you stop breathing, you are dead. But think about this carefully. There are qualities to be developed of which devotion is most important. Without devotion, without prem, body becomes a smashan. Ya dhad prem na sanchari, so dhad jaan smashan. जैसे खाल लुहार की सांस लेत बिन प्राण कबीर. Means the bellows of the blacksmith also make fuss, fuss. They don't have any life. I'm sure many young people haven't seen the bellows of a blacksmith. Nowadays they don't exist. They are leather bags with handles, and then the fire comes. So, devotion to the Supreme Being, to the Divine. If you don't want devotion to the source from which Kriya has come, is most important before you do Kriya. And therefore, in our parampara, we have a Guru Mantra, which that also I used to be very reluctant to give, because I didn't know how much respect people would give to it. But I think now the times have changed. We can't hold it like that. So we have so many people sitting here. I just want to broadcast it. It doesn't matter if you don't do or if you do and some harm comes, it can come to me. I don't care. I'll use Kunti's words, bring all troubles on my head. You know that story? When Krishna leaves for Dwaraka, he asks Kunti, what blessing do you want from me? Tell me now. Because I'm going away, so I can immediately grant it and go back. So there's a dialogue in the Bhagavad. First Kunti says, please stop all this drama, I know you quite well. Can you imagine somebody talking to someone who is considered to be a Purna avatar? I know you. Don't try all this drama on me. You started the war, you ended the war for us. You were with us, so we won, all that we know. We also know that you are usually with people who are poor and suffering like Kuchela. But that you join with us who are rich and well-known families, that itself is a great thing. So this is all your drama, so don't do all that. You ask me for a boon. Yeah, I want to ask you for it. What is that? Bring all the miseries and pains of this whole world on my head. That's the boon I want. Even Krishna is a little taken aback. What the hell? He says, but why? So that generally it's only when trouble comes that we call on you. So when troubles keep coming, I keep calling you. And I am 100% sure that when I call, you will come. So I am always seeing you. That's all I want. Well, we can't pray like that. We are not Kunti, okay? One trouble comes, we'll start running. Please take back that word. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say a story but a very, very old person who used to go to a Bhagavati temple and pray. So lots of people standing around. So she wants everyone to know how she has renounced the whole world, doesn't care about anything. So Devi, why have you kept me here? What have I left here? Please take me away. Just mainly for the daughter-in-laws to hear, because she always carried the cupboard keys in her. Please take me away. So that priest got fed up one day. What is this woman? Such a hypocrite. So he went and stood behind the image of the goddess. There were many hands, so two more you can't make out. So she went and said, please take me away. Why are you keeping me here? Wango, he said. Come. I think in some airport there is a South Indian hotel called Wango. Means come. That's what I'm trying to explain. Come. You know, you can guess what happened. He ran for her life. Who will look after the grandchildren? So therefore what I'm trying to say, let me come to the point before clouds are gathering. Don't worry. So devotion to the Guru, not this, to the source, Supreme Sri Guru Babaji, and the mantra of Sri Guru Babaji are important. And as what I was trying to say is, no more am I reluctant. I'm going to talk about it now. I'm going to open it up. At least you will take something home when you come here for Guru Purnima, instead of hearing philosophy and going back. Practice is important. So, please listen carefully. If you are doing any other practice, you can still do it, but start with the Guru Mantra. The practice as we do, which has been given to us in the Parampara, is first sit comfortably away from the kitchen so that the smell of laddus doesn't waft. And then, I know people who sit for meditation, then my wife is making vadas. So away from that, and then wear comfortable clothes, don't wear tight. And first visualize with closed eyes in the center of your body, in the chest, in the heart center. When I say heart center, we are not talking about the physical heart that pumps blood. We are talking about the heart of the matter, which means the anahat here in the center. In yogic terms, that is called the Hridaya. Hridaya, that from which compassion flows. Visualize in that center a beautiful white bloomed lotus. Beautiful white blooming lotus. On the top of the lotus, think, visualize, sankalpa, that there are two padukas, Guru Padukabhyam, two little padukas, kept on the lotus, white lotus. You know what is a paduka? I hope you know. What? slippers, Hawaii chappals. Padukas are the wooden sandals, Khadao, which in those days only the Vipras, those who had knowledge, used to wear. And they used to walk tuck, 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 so the term Thakur came from that. Tuck. So, visualize 2 padukas. Not 2 means 1 paduka. 1 pair, that's what. Because if I say 1, they'll think of 1 pair. If I say 2, they'll be 2 pairs of padukas. 1 pair of padukas. Now you have to be very careful. No, I'm not joking. There are all kinds of people. Tomorrow, after 3 days, they will say, I had all the 2 padukas, 1 went away. So, hold on. 1 pair of padukas on the top of the lotus, in such position as if somebody is walking towards you, not away from you. Done? Have you placed the padukas? We'll practice afterwards for a few minutes. Then put both your hands here, as if you are holding the padukas with your hands. Must be a perfect Parvati hold, full. Then your eyes are closed. Chant this mantra, holding it. Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hreem is H-R-I-M, Hreem. H-R-E-E-M, Hreem. Om Hreem, don't please chant cream. Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Yeah. So, sit and chant in your mind, not loudly. Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. With your complete attention, with total devotion, asking for help so that you may reach the best and the highest. Don't count. Chant for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then take your hands off. Forget about the lotus, the paduka. If you want, you can say it's still here, that doesn't matter. Shift your attention from that. Bow down and touch your forehead to the ground. At once say Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is the Guru Mantra. Now I have broken a rule and given it to you. Chant daily at least once. If anybody has taken Kriya, chant before the Kriya. Or you can simply chant it in the morning before you start any other practice or japa or whatever. And if it becomes a practice, keep it in your mind whenever possible. When you go out also a few times, just chant. You don't have to put in, just chant. And in an emergency situation, if you think there is no help, I need help, I have flown off the car in Chintamani, put your hand in heart and few times say Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha and Babaji, please do something, and carry on with your life. Got it? So I don't know what will happen, but I have given it off. Do you know the story of Ramanujacharya? When he was a young man in Sri Perumudur, he was taught by his Guru that this is the great mantra which will lead you to Vaikuntham. Anybody who chants it. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Or Namo Narayana. But be careful, don't give it to everybody. This is to be given only to those who are qualified. Aptas. So the young man asked the Guru, that is true, but suppose I give it to somebody who is not an apta, what happens? Nothing, he will also reach Vaikuntha. But you, because you gave it to the wrong person, will have to go to hell 100 times. He said, okay, fine, thank you. In about half an hour, people came and told the Guru, hey, this young man is on the top of the hill and he's calling everybody, all and sundry, come, I'm going to give you the mantra, you can reach Vaikuntha, everybody come. So everybody came and took the mantra. So they went and reported, what is this? Who knows what? So he called him and said, what happened? He said, I don't mind going to hell 100 times. They'll all go to Vaikuntha. So the Guru told his disciples, this is why he is going to be my chief disciple. So I have one excuse. So shall we sit for a few moments before the dhuni starts and chant the mantra for a while? I will chant once. First you visualize and then I will chant once. And then you continue the chant in your mind. You don't have to chant loudly because who knows, somebody might be hiding there and listening. So first start with closing your eyes, visualizing the white lotus, put the padukas. Traditionally we think of the padukas as silver padukas, but it doesn't matter. You can, if you like, you can have it with rosewood, it doesn't matter. And then put both your hands, close your eyes and sit, and then I will chant once and then you continue in your own mind. When it is over, I'll call you, don't worry. Om Hreem Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. नाश्ता बाद में. अडिकेरे पावम Guru Mandram Badvikam Mandram. So now we can, what is the next program? Break for tea. when you sit in front of the dhuni, since you have taken the Guru Mantra today, try to chant it in your mind.